Tom and Jack for Cultaholic. It's Monday morning and Impact Wrestling have been cheeky buggers, Jack. Oh, they've been cheeky. Cheeky boys, 10 on 10 for cheekiness.
Cheekiness, 10 on 10.
10 on 10. If I was playing the top trumps of wrestling cards, I would have Impact Wrestling and I would play their cheekiness because I know I'd win the hand. That's true. Do you want to let's talk about how cheeky they've been in the wrestling news? Kenny Omega wins the Impact World title at Rebellion 2021. Plus, a former WWE star makes their Impact debut, and a legendary WWE team is making a return. Find out who in a little bit. Last night, Impact Wrestling presented Rebellion 2021, and as we went off air from Impact Wrestling, we have ourselves a brand spanking new Impact World Champion. Kenny Omega defeating Rich Swann in the main event to retain his AEW title and become the new Impact World Champion. A heck of a match between those two, to be fair, Jack.
Yeah, absolutely. And one which had a slightly bizarre feel for very different reasons. Obviously, you had the fact that Omega is wrestling in Impact once again for the title, and also the two referees giving it a big feel of like a co-promotional thing. Aubrey Edwards was there as well, having to take over at one point, and not letting Kenny Omega cheat, to put aside any questions that, you know, the officials might play into it and all that sort of thing. But no, it was Kenny Omega who won, wasn't it?
It was indeed. Big
He's
Kenny.
the Impact champion.
And clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, obviously there was a ref bump in amongst all of that as well, but the result came following Rich Swann taking a royal shellacking of V-triggers, followed by the one-winged angel for the victory. And now, there he is, the belt collector, Kenny Omega, not only a champion in AAA, but now a champion in AEW, and the holder of the Impact World Championship and the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. That, in a wonderful moment that I'm hoping Matthew time-stamped, as they're putting the championship on the shoulder of Kenny Omega, one of the side plates starts to come off.
Oh, no.
I know.
I'm wondering, I'm really curious where this goes now, because is it just me, Tom, or has the whole Impact AEW partnership quietened down a little bit apart from this match on the AEW side of things?
Well, surely this ramps it up, because now we're gonna see Kenny Omega on Wednesday with the Impact World title. Like, that's amazing exposure for Impact Wrestling. As for the sort of the story, well, the story is then who from Impact steps up to take it back. I think I'd love to see a story of like Rich Swann turning up to Impact on Thursday and just everybody degrading him. Like, you lost our championship.
Yeah.
Moose on Thursday said, my one piece of advice to you is you better not lose. And he lost. So there's going to be some real... and whether or not we have the story of the road back for Rich Swann, whether it is Rich Swann that eventually takes the championship back, whether it's somebody else, we certainly do not know. But as of this morning, Kenny Omega, all the belts for big old Ken. Last night at Rebellion, good show overall. Adam Bachiti's reactions are live on our YouTube channel right now if you want to watch those back. We saw the debut of a former WWE star, didn't we, Jack?
Yes, we did. We saw Big Cass, or what's his indie name? Big Cass XL.
He was Kaz XL. He's now going under the name of W. Morrissey. His real name's William Morrissey, and they even slipped in. Did Matt Striker even slipped in a Morrissey reference, saying, heaven knows I'm miserable now.
Oh, fantastic scenes. He was the mystery partner in an 8-man tag team match, subbing in for the injured Eric Young. He filled in for him on the Violent by Design team alongside Rhino, Cody Deaner, and Joe Doering, facing James Storm, Chris Sabin, Eddie Edwards, and Willie Mack. So he's very much on the heel team, I suppose, in that match, you could say.
And he got the win as well. He got the pin in the match. So what a great way to showcase big old W. Morrissey. And when I say big old W. Morrissey, there was some from 2019. We saw that the star formerly known as Big Cass going through a lot of issues. There was some backstage discussion with Joey Janela that didn't do him great favours, and Pat Buck. He had some health issues as well that were quite well documented. And he turned up in February looking like Edge's big brother, essentially. Just like somebody had maximised Edge, had zoomed in on Edge. He looks huge, and he looked massive at Rebellion last night. Just like the tallest man you've ever seen in that ring with everybody there. Do you think he'll stick around? Or is this a one-shot?
Oh, that's really hard to tell, isn't it? I think he'll stick around for a little bit and will then pop up somewhere else. That's a weird prediction, but that's the one I'm going for.
No, that's fine. It was last night at Slammiversary. It was last night at Rebellion that they teased Slammiversary. And Impact, you are cheeky. You are the cheekiest. So in this video they played for Slammiversary, which is coming up later on in the year, coming up after a certain 90 days are up for some wrestlers. They flashed up this video which featured shots of, let's see, Mickie James, Chelsea Green, Samoa Joe, The Great Muta, Naito, and Okada. Hey, coming soon.
Yeah, I get that they could easily say, hey, we're just showing famous alumni from Impact Wrestling, but I mean, and at least they stopped short of going like CM Punk, AJ Styles, but at the same time, it was a bit cheeky, wasn't it? And I understand. I understand flashing up, the WWE releases. That makes sense. But then you move on to like New Japan's megastars, as if to be like, these might get a chance. These whippersnappers might come in. I didn't know what to make of it, but they've done this before, haven't they? They did this with
a video last year. They did it.
Yeah, and it ended with the Bulgarian flag, obviously because of Miro. So I see what they're doing.
I want them to ramp it up in months to come, and we just keep add Mantor and Homer Simpson, Stephen Fry. Just keep putting people out there just to convince and confuse. But the names obviously prominent because they were the names that were released from WWE who are on 90-day no competes on their way out of the company. The person responsible for some of that is the talent relations department in WWE, now absent of Mark Carrillo. So we talked extensively about Carrillo and his very public release from the company at the end of last week. The Mark Carrillo story doesn't end there. So it's been alleged by Mark Carrillo's ex-girlfriend, Deborah Simmons, that Carrillo is a belt collector, but not in the Kenny Omega sense. She's put out a tweet saying, "Hey WWE, Mark Carrillo stores belts that he stole from WWE under the bed in the guest bedroom at his West Haven home." What a bizarre turn of events, Jack.
Yeah, so I actually saw this first. I didn't realize she tweeted about it. I saw this first on Reddit, where her. I think he's either her husband or her fiance, her current partner, was doing like an AMA saying, "Oh, my partner used to be engaged to Mark Carrillo. Ask me anything, or ask us anything." And then she mentioned it in there. She mentioned he said, "Oh, yeah, she's talking about the belts that he keeps under his bed." So clearly, she's decided, no, let's take this onto Twitter and tag Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. And it was quite an interesting read because, I mean, obviously there's two sides to every story and everything, but from the sounds of it, I don't know what to say really, Tom. He wasn't portrayed in the best light in the Reddit thread, is what I'll say.
No, it's not been a landmark week for Mark Carrillo, to be perfectly fair. Not quite sure where we'll go from there. But I tell you what, where we will be going next year, and that is to Qatar. I don't know whether we will personally, Jack. I don't know whether Adam will fund the airfare for that. But it is at Super Slam 3, presented by QPW in Qatar next year. We will see the reuniting of a legendary WWE team. Who's that, Jack?
It's the Nation of Domination.
Yes.
Which is fine. That's great. Good for them getting their payday in that. But Tom, just leaving aside for 1 second the Nation of Domination, I find this story insane. Like, I don't understand.
This is, tell it. It's unreal.
You know how weird, like, Super Showdown and Crown Jewel and that in Saudi Arabia, and how weird they all are. This is like that, but with a bit of an indie promoter's edge, where he just kind of goes, let's grab everybody from all the promotions. It's bizarre. So yes, The 4 members, or the 4 key members of the Nation of Domination, not including The Rock, will be part of QPW Super Slam 3, as you mentioned, on February 26th, 2022 in Doha, Qatar. Mark Henry, Ron Simmons, The Godfather, and D'Lo Brown are all apparently going to be there. But then we get on to the rest of the talent that have been apparently confirmed for it as well, and it's like someone's playing like virtual, EWR.
This is like
whatever.
like somebody doing EWR or TEW, but in real life.
Yeah, so we've got the Nation of Domination. I don't know why, because then when we move on to the rest of the talent, a lot of them are really current, so I don't understand. But we've got Will Ospreay, Hiroshi Tanahashi, like from New Japan, both of them, obviously. You've got Jon Moxley, Sammy Guevara, Brian Cage, the former Sin Cara, Cinta de Oro, EC3 from Ring of Honor, Eric Bischoff, Bret the Hitman Hart, and Booker T. So obviously some legends in there as well, just to spread it out. It can't all be current stars from a variety of promotions, but a lot of it is, and I don't understand. Not that I'm saying that, like,
a lot of
EC3,
money in this promotion in Qatar.
Not that I'm saying that EC3 doesn't deserve to be booked or people like that, but the person here, there's definitely 2 forces competing behind the scenes in QPW. There's one who's like the Attitude Era, old school lapsed fan, and then there's the current promoter, I'm guessing, who's like, yeah, we need some current guys like EC3 and Will Ospreay as well, because for me it just doesn't make sense. I don't understand.
If it's because like you hear about this in places like Qatar where there's some really good money to bring some big names over, and this is exactly what QPW are doing. If this was a card for like the Coventry Sky Dome, like you call shenanigans on it, but I genuinely believe this is a thing. It's not. It doesn't end there as well, because QPW got their head screwed on because Ali Al Marafi has confirmed that they will have an event at the FIFA World Cup in December, and it'll be the first time in the history. Yeah, go on.
December 2022.
December 2022.
December 2022.
December 2022. So for December 2022 FIFA World Cup, they will have an event. The first time in the history of the FIFA World Cup that we will witness a pro wrestling event on the same night as a footy match.
I love that tagline. That was in the press release, wasn't it? And just the first time ever we'll see wrestling and football at the same time, at the same night, and
on the same pitch.
Yeah, I was imagining it happening like in the same place at the same time. This story's mad, and I just don't know what. It'll be available on Fight, by the way, Super Slam 3. If anyone's a big QPW fan,
there is their previous show on Fight right now, so like they've got a history of this stuff. I think it was this. Well, I believe Eric Bischoff turned up for the last one.
I guess it is called Super Slam 3. I should have,
you should have guessed. They just jumped to 3. These like George Lucas. But they have a previous show on Fight, and I think Eric Bischoff turned up for that one, said hello, and then left. But it was just for the a little promo. He was gone. So they've got history, they've got money. I'm intrigued to see how this goes. The Nation of Domination are back, and they're back in Qatar. You could say they're about to become Qatar heroes.
Oh, I was going to ask a question, but I don't want to spoil that there. I don't want to
spoil it. It's fine. I've spoiled everything.
I was just going to say, do you think it'll go ahead?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Without a doubt, this will be a thing that happens in 2022. I want live reactions. I want what happened at. I want graded. I want WTF moments.
All centered around this.
All for this.
Let's redirect all of the kind of the time and effort we spend on WrestleMania week typically, and instead in 2022 we'll just have Super Slam 3 week.
Yeah.
For everyone.
Whoa. Super Slam 3 from Doha, Qatar. Pump it up. Let's do it. Let's make it a thing. Stay safe. More news later. Love you. Bye.